I got nothing to read. It's 290.
Welcome to another great episode of Cigar Hustlers Podcast, episode 290.
Sorry,
We're
Boots
back.
is sitting in for Phil today.
Gonna go around the room.
Around the room.
Can you flex? Can you flex?
You know, like you did last.
I feel like I did a lot of flexing.
A lot of flexing
on
last
the
week.
last episode.
Oh yeah, so,
So
it was amazing.
I'm gonna try and dumb it down a little bit.
Oh, a little less
Yeah,
flexy.
not gonna be so much this time.
No.
Yeah.
How's the live chicken eating going? Is that going well?
You know, it's better than the 4
Dairy?
gallons of milk.
All the dairy.
Yeah, it's definitely
cheese.
better. And I gotta earn it when I gotta chase them like Rocky.
Right.
Yeah.
So that burns the fat.
Yeah, it's it's good.
So is Skip doing that diet too? He looked great in the couple of photos I saw.
You know what? I didn't ask him, but it looks like he's down about 20 to 30 pounds.
Yeah, you could tell.
Yeah.
I saw it first in his face in one photo, and then there was a picture later on in the week of like waist up. I went to Adrian. I went, does he look thinner to you? He looks thinner, right?
He's definitely down.
Yeah, he
some
looked good.
LBs.
He looked good.
All right, so we're actually recording as we just landed last night, and we're here recording now to kind
Right.
of that way we can talk.
We can talk
because
well, it's also fresh on your guys' minds.
yeah,
so.
I mean, you stared at me long enough
well,
upstairs.
I mean, we're just sitting there, and I come up with these questions like, I
Just
can't
killing
answer
us.
this.
How's PCA? I'm like,
I mean, luckily Greg got here first. I asked him a couple of questions.
He knows nothing.
did you?
Yeah, he doesn't know really.
He's
know anything.
oblivious.
No. I just did it go well? Did
Yeah.
you sell as many cigars as you had hoped?
He stated.
Okay. And what did he say?
He said not as many as I hoped, but enough where I'm not upset.
What a political answer.
Right, exactly.
You know what? That's pretty accurate.
pretty accurate?
That's
Right.
pretty accurate. I think that we did as far as Posania and Fosforo and Fable are concerned, we did fairly well.
Good.
I think that, I guess that, when you have expectations and you expect that you're going to do a specific
Sure.
thing.
Right.
Right. And we did along those lines.
Right.
The psychopath in me always looks at it and say, okay, what were the mistakes that we made? How do we
Right.
get better?
What did I do wrong? What could I do better?
Yeah. I didn't really focus on, hey, this is great. That's just not, I'm just not built that way.
Right.
How do I achieve the next higher number
Right.
is really what I'm kind of
Yeah,
looking
you sound
at.
just like you did last week.
Really?
Just the way you're carrying yourself. He did a good job.
He did a great job.
He did a good job.
He was very funny. He was very funny. I'm still gonna kick his fucking ass when I see him.
He's expecting. He's expecting that.
No, I love Chet.
He was happy to be on the road today, by the way.
Chet was fantastic. It was a great show, great
Right.
episode. I mean, I was laughing. Skip said he laughed so hard that he almost pissed himself.
No, he did.
Oh, he did. He did visit
himself.
himself. Right. Poor Brandon over there is Phil. He couldn't stop laughing long enough to even say anything.
The fact that he ate the money on it. Listen, if you haven't watched the YouTube episode, just the intro alone, you have to plug this in because Palmer was playing Greg, Chet was playing me,
Right.
and Brandon was playing Phil. And it's fucking hilarious. It really is. Greg is spot on. I feel like all of them were spot on.
Right.
They
Right.
really were. Phil just eating the money was fantastic.
hungry. That's all he
very
had.
hungry.
Right.
I mean, the best part for Phil was the fact that he had Brandon as playing him because
Right.
he didn't say a whole hell of a lot.
Right.
Where Phil does say a lot.
Right.
Right.
Well, he was so busy laughing he couldn't. Watching me and Chet, he just laughing and he couldn't. Every time we cut to him, he's just giggling.
Yeah. I feel like you had to, if I'm going to critique a little bit.
No, go ahead.
You had to let Caleb in on what the fuck was going on because when
No, he thought you were really here.
Yeah, because when he
Yeah.
took over, it was meh. You know,
Right.
you kind of lost it at that point. He
Right.
had to know. He had to be in on the joke.
I assumed he would recognize that it wasn't your voice or something, but I guess he hasn't really heard it enough.
You know,
to do.
Caleb isn't. I feel like Caleb is the weakest link on the Down to Earth podcast. He's a psychopath.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. He's doing crazy, stupid shit like eating
Right.
the fucking jalapeno or whatever. But
Wait, you think he's a psychopath?
hold on. But Jerry and Gio. Well, first of all, Jerry he's next level.
He's a psycho.
He's next. They are fucking your quintessential super troopers. Just
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they had a great time. That was
Good.
what was really important to me is make sure that they got to see who they wanted to see and talk and have
Yeah.
a good time and then Boots, gave them Boots being the man that he is in the industry.
Yes, yeah.
He gave them the tour and showed them
yes.
stuff, and and then when they found themselves met walls, like they couldn't get things done or couldn't make intros and stuff. I'm like, bro, where do you need to go?
Yeah.
Who do we got? Who do you
want to talk to?
Yeah.
Well, they're like, can we talk to this person? I'm like, okay, well, look, it'd be better if Mikey comes along with us on this one. Like Eric Espinosa and stuff like that.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
I mean, he'll talk with me and we'll bullshit and stuff, but Mikey gets a different...
You're the guy he beat at cornhole or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Well, that's what he always wants to talk about.
Well, that's what he tells everybody.
Yeah.
And that's not like an ego flex thing for me.
No.
That's just there's 13 years
know
of
the people longer.
Yeah, 13 years of built relationships where all of their walls are down and they know who I am, and like we have a good friendship.
Certainly.
One thing that I said to Eric, who was very upset that he hasn't been on the show lately, by the way.
We just called him not long ago.
No, he's upset.
No, I don't think we called him.
Eric Bay?
Espinosa.
Eric Espinosa.
Oh, no, he has not been on the show in forever.
Here's what's awesome about the cigar industry. There are a handful of dudes that will go out of their way for you and have your back, whether you buy and support them or not.
Right.
And Eric is definitely one of those guys.
He is, yeah.
I distinctly remember a time when we weren't carrying Espinosa at the time, and I was traveling in Tennessee. I think it might have been with you, or it might have been solo.
I think it was. I wasn't with you in Tennessee,
but
I remember that trip though.
He said, "Hey, if you get jammed up," I think he said, "Hi, my sister or my sister-in-law or something is close by." Yeah, because he knew that I was at that point. I was in kind of uncharted territory,
right?
So he's definitely. He's one of those dudes. You know what I mean? He's just a fucking good guy. So
I think we started carrying them when Jack went over.
Maybe. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this trip, I saw a lot more of Eric Espinosa's side of helping, of being
who he actually is.
Yeah, not just the character, like the real person.
Yeah, you gotta, when it comes to guys like that, you gotta meet aggression with aggression. So he comes and says, "Motherfucker," I'm like, "Motherfucker, me, motherfucker." I'm like, "What are we yelling about?" I don't know. I have no idea, but I know that you're yelling, and now I gotta yell back to shut it the fuck down. He's awesome, man. I really gotta give it to him.
Yeah.
It was like celebrity year.
Oh,
was it? There was a lot of people there
at PCA.
Well, I saw everybody Boots had their photo with.
I mean, so there you go.
But there was no photo with you guys with Guy Fieri.
I ain't got fucking time for that circus. Yeah, he got one with Guy Fieri.
Oh, that's right, with the guys. Yeah, with the Down to Earth guys. That's right.
Yeah, they really that was like that and Paul Materi was their highlight.
Chaz Bonamana.
Yeah, that guy.
Chaz Palmateri.
Yeah. So
like Palmer, but with a Terry.
So there were those two guys. Chad Ochocinco was there, which was like a unicorn for me.
Oh, because that's your guy from the gym.
No,
that's not. Who's the wrestler at the gym?
Oh no, that's Omas. That's George.
It's very close name.
Sports. He's not a cigar guy.
I don't know.
Sports Palmer.
Yeah, sports.
I don't sport. No, but I
didn't know who that guy was at the basket. You took a picture with at the airport in Salt Lake City.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Judah. That's the.
Well, I saw the name.
You know what's so fun? Well, hold on, you're jumping ahead.
He could have walked past me. Sorry, he said sports. You just went trying to get all the sports together.
Okay, well, shut the fuck up for 1 second. Sorry, you went to the end of the trip.
Right.
Okay, we're at the beginning of the trip.
Sorry. Okay.
Love of God. See, that's the one thing Chet didn't do is he didn't scold you enough during the podcast. That's
I didn't interrupt him. There was no reason.
Yeah, he just shut up and let him fucking do his thing.
Well, except when he started talking about your wife and the kids, I'm like, no, that's not
the football thing.
You're got nervous.
We're not going down that road. No, back.
Let's go
back this way.
He's like, okay.
Oh, okay.
So Chad
Ochocinco was there. He's kind of like a unicorn for me. I've always seen him as a cigar guy and shit, and he's one of the guys that I've admired in the game of football because nobody has been able to create space as a wideout like Ochocinco. So I didn't get. Oh wait, did I get a? I did actually get a picture with him.
Yeah, you did one with him.
And I FaceTimed the boys.
Oh, did you talk to your kids?
I said, hey,
nice.
Do you mind talking to them for a second? He goes, yeah, sure, man. Does you care walking with him? I'm like, sure, no problem. So, of course, Jax doesn't say shit, which drives me nuts. So then I go, he likes to play safety, and he says he can cover you. He goes, you can't cover me, man. I'm like, yes. In Ochocinco fashion. Big Sirs was there. Leon Sirs was there. Ike Taylor was there.
Yep. Zoe.
That was the one I was going to lead into, but I just want to make sure I covered everybody else.
Carl.
Carl Malone was there. We were in the gym with him again. That dude fucking works out, which is nice.
Chaz Palminteri.
Yep.
Guy and I thought we saw one more.
I feel like we did.
Little guy with the
Ike.
dog was there.
Shorty was there.
Shorty was there.
Ike.
I mentioned Ike. There was a couple other basketball guys too.
Yeah.
So, okay. So we're walking, and I'm like, "Yo, that's Alonzo Mourning," and he's just kind of roaming around, hitting up shit. Now he's like one of the most famous Miami Heat players,
Right.
of all time, right? And he's a super nice guy, very generous, does a whole fucking thing for the community. I mean, he's cool.
Okay.
Right? So I'm like, hey, we want to go get a photo with him? He's like, yeah, of course. He's like,
Right.
Boots.
Yeah.
Boots is like,
Right.
yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
like, where is he?
Yeah. And I could spot him. I'm like, the fucking tall guy,
Right.
you can't miss Zoe. So we walk up to him, and he's like, hey, man, you got a second for a picture? And he fucking did like this. He closed his eyes real quick and did like the Ben Affleck photo that you always see where he's holding the cigarette outside?
Right.
Like that was the look that Zoe made. And he kept walking.
We
and
walked
then
past us,
he
yeah.
kept walking. He's like, yeah, okay, man. And I was like, yo, after we were done, I said to Boots, I go, that was the realest shit. I fucking feel him in that. Because there are so many times where you're just like, I don't fucking.
Yeah, I don't want to take another photo.
I don't want to talk, right? Just please, give me. I just want to make it from the car to the office without being confronted by the modern decay of Western society.
To the next cigar booth, please.
Just want to hang out. I'm like, and I even said, hey, you want some cigars? He goes, bro, I don't need any cigars. I'm like, okay. Like, so that's.
But it's mine, though.
So, but that's where you could tell where he was at.
Right.
At that point. He's just like, fuck, man. Geez, Louise. And he still sucked it up. And he still did, he still put on a show
He
very
smiled,
briefly.
smiled for the photo.
Yeah. So, I don't know. For me, I was like, yeah, man. Thank you. And I understand. I understand, So that was pretty fucking remarkable. What else do you want to know? Let's get into the details.
Did you see David Garofalo?
I saw him when I was in the parking lot.
Oh, we didn't speak to him again.
No. Boots was getting all gassed up. He's like, run him over.
Oh, yeah.
No, man. He's a good guy,
I was about to roll down the window, but Mikey
I
said
was like,
stop.
roll it up. No. No.
Did you talk to Booth? There was no photos with Booth? Or nothing?
I didn't really see him.
I got to talk with him for a while. But Mikey was super busy. And
Sure, I know he was busy
so
selling and stuff.
And truthfully, Booth was super busy as well.
You are Booth today.
No, Booth.
Oh, Booth. He said Booth. I thought you were talking third person.
Yeah, no, Matt Booth was super busy too. I mean, even when I was over there, they were pulling him and left, right,
Yeah.
forward, down. I mean, they were pulling him pretty hardcore.
So the PCA did a couple things right this time around. They did this gala at the beginning.
Right? Well, don't they always do an opening night party?
They do, but they did it right this time.
Okay.
They had like a line where you can get cigars. You got cigars from Booth, Espinosa, Saka. Am I forgetting anybody?
Justin Anders.
Yeah, and then they had like a paleo lighter that you could grab.
Oh.
And then there was a Guy Fieri fucking meet and greet.
Yeah.
Fucking jerk me off, whatever the fuck.
Right.
Because
They
everybody
just toted
loves
him
Guy
around
Fieri.
for the 3-4. He was there every day. It looked like.
At least the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I know that for a fact.
I think it was 3 days, yeah, because then
3
he went
days.
to the World Series of Poker or whatever.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
So that was awesome. And then they had open bar. And then they had like people running around with appetizers.
Right.
So it was like free booze. Everybody was there.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, that's a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
The tags are no longer paper. They took the paper tags and
did they?
And attached them to plastic so they didn't rip and look like complete shit.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. Those two things definitely
The two-strap hanger more comfortable than the single.
Right.
Yeah.
So those two things definitely resonate with me saying, okay, at least PCA is hearing the feedback and they're
Right.
trying to make adjustments. I still feel like they got a long way to go.
Right.
But
They did. Go ahead. Sorry.
But they did cover some improvements.
Yeah.
They did a lot of interviews on their own on their Instagram.
I saw that.
Dozens and dozens of them.
I did see that. I don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah, because it kind of steals away from the other guys, huh?
I don't know if that's the case.
From the media people, you think?
Yeah.
I don't know. You know what? I don't know if that's the case. I think it's good that they did that. I think that they just got to fine tune it somehow.
Yeah, they need a person that does it instead of just going, here's the microphone, we're going to record you for 3 seconds.
Because you could then, when you do that, you could see the guys that are seasoned and handling themselves in the brand. Because
some of the guys were comfortable doing it.
Right.
Some of them were just like,
I
have cigars.
Right.
Yeah.
So you need somebody to fix that filler.
Right.
You know? And I don't know if formerly Bovida Rob, was the guy that was handling that or not.
Oh.
But he might have been.
I didn't see it.
You know?
I thought I saw his photo once, but he's a slender guy with a big beard. I mean, it could have been just about anybody.
It could have been anybody.
Right. Yeah, that's about 99%.
I remember Jerry said, "Hey, a friend of yours reached out and said blah blah blah." I'm like, who is he? He says, "Well, he's a larger guy. He's got a beard and a hat, or he's a larger guy, bald with a beard." I go, "Dude, you just named 70% of the people in the fucking cigar industry."
Half of the people here.
So thanks for dumbing that down a little bit.
Right. Didn't even narrow down the hair color.
Yeah. I would say that I opened more new accounts than I thought.
Oh, did you really? That's good.
That was cool. And, I think attendance was definitely up from this year to last year.
Right.
It's still got to go a ways. The difference was there weren't too many tire kickers. I didn't have to shoo too many people away.
Right. I was about to ask if you turned anybody away.
Hey, there's a couple.
A handful or
There's
so?
a couple that you can read. You're like, oh, you're completely full of shit. You just want free cigars.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Sometimes maybe I'd give them a cigar or something like that, but I wouldn't waste my 20 minutes bullshit and telling them what's going on and stuff like that.
Like just say you want the free cigar.
Hey,
I don't want to go through the song and dance.
We're thinking about your brand.
We've heard good things.
Yeah.
We need to try one.
Yeah, I really want a sample. Do you have a sample?
Right. That would cinch it, I think.
Like, I'll tell you what. Let me light this up and I'll blow it in your face. How's this?
Oh, it smells nice.
How's that?
So, how was your birthday? Did your birthday go well?
Oh, my birthday went great. Thank you so much for harassing everybody.
Good,
you know what's funny is you actually upset a lot of people.
Yeah.
Oh, because you said it wasn't your birthday.
Yeah. And they're like, they felt stupid.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't ask anybody to, other than, did anybody sing? I was trying to get a group to come sing to you.
Nobody sang.
Okay, that was the only thing I had set up was I was trying to set up singing.
Nobody sang.
Your wife was in on that because I got her to approve it. Like, hey,
Yeah.
I think I'm going to do that. She goes, oh, yeah, you definitely do that.
I mean, Wes from Crown Heads went around and took it and ran with it. He's like, hey, happy birthday. He did it for like 4 days in a row. I'm like, and when I corrected some people, like, oh, well, happy birthday. They just kept going. I'm
It
like,
was just early. That way, Ray could wish you happy birthday at the PCA.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So, yeah, it was fun. It was entertaining. You guys up to your fucking shenanigans over here.
I'd like to thank everybody who reached out to me and asked me why I wasn't there. I thought that was nice. I got a lot of messages and
I just told them the truth. I told them that you're working your way out. You don't want to be a part of this anymore.
Oh, good, because I told everybody that you got mad at me and said I couldn't come.
Oh, perfect.
So it worked out well.
Yeah, he's just not.
I goes, I'm going to go talk to him. Sean Coleman was very upset I wasn't there. He was going to say something to you.
I love Sean.
He wants to be on the show.
Oh, yeah?
He goes, you guys never have me on the show.
He didn't even say that to me.
Oh, he did to me?
Really?
When we called Boots to try to get Jamie on the phone and talk to 75 other people before he found Jamie. Sean was one of the people he handed his phone to.
I was all the way on the other side.
Well, I asked if you were near Roma, and you said yes.
I mean, technically I am. I'm in the same building.
Here's what's crazy, man. It's nice to have the bigwigs on.
Right.
Your Nicks, your Sakas, your Skips, your Michaels.
Right. Everybody talks to them.
Your Erics, your Black Star Line. And,
right.
Even Howie G and those dudes.
Right.
The guys are on the top of their brands. But there is so much shit in between that people don't really talk about or have them come on.
Right.
So it may not be a draw as far as a name to listen.
Right.
But when you listen to them and you get some more in detail inner working stuff, I think that those things are fascinating. The more I got so many compliments about Danny coming on from Tobacco Plaza in New York and fucking Alan.
Oh, Alan Schumer.
Yeah. So somebody placed an order and said, "Oh, you're the retailer that fucking throws everybody out." And he goes, "Not everybody." So it's cool to see that this is a platform for everybody,
Right.
and everybody has the ability to kind of say their piece and stuff like say what they want to say,
Right.
And we just let them go, like let them do it.
Right.
So I want to talk to Jamie. Nobody ever talks to Jamie.
Yeah.
And I would have talked to Arlen too, but I know she gets nervous because she doesn't think her English is that good, and I didn't want to put her on the spot.
Well, she doesn't like to speak English.
Right.
I mean, she does, but she holds back.
Right.
So
So I didn't want to go, hey, now put Arlen on the phone.
I'm gonna tell you, the Volstead was fucking awesome.
Yeah?
We smoked a bunch of those.
Yeah.
We smoked that box press Volstead. When that thing drops, holy shit, dude.
Good, huh?
That thing is fucking ridiculous. The Quinquagenero.
Quinquagenero. Right.
Yeah, I stole a couple of those. Smoked those. Fucking money.
That is good.
Yeah.
I had it where you're gone.
The other thing that I thought we haven't smoked everything yet,
Right.
obviously, because we were busy as shit.
Right.
And we were waiting for Palmer.
Yeah, and we wanted to smoke them with you. But
Oh.
I did smoke one of the new Don Doroteos. I thought it was fantastic.
Isn't there just one?
They have two
There's
new.
Two new ones?
I don't know if they're both under the Salt of the Earth platform.
They are both salt of the earth, but one's like a Korea.
Criollo.
Criollo?
And well, I know one's a Cameroon. The
Cameroon.
smoke of Cameroon's fucking money.
All this stuff's good, just a little pricey.
Yeah, sometimes
You know what was
Times you
cool? They
pay
had
for the
this
big ones.
big tobacco thing that they were taking the tobacco out of like the chunks,
Yeah.
and then they were letting people smoke them in pipes.
Yeah.
Did you
Oh
see
yeah.
that?
Like,
So
you had
you
to
could
share a
taste the
pipe with
leaf or
somebody?
something.
No, they were giving out pipes.
Oh, okay.
Jerry got to smoke it. He said it was great.
So the other thing that was cool was, the relation that didn't start going
It
yet.
didn't start. Yeah.
The relationships
Yet.
that have been established over the course of a decade are
Right.
fantastic. Because I reached out to Eric at Black Star Line and said, "Hey, I need a couple cigars from me and Palmer to smoke on the show."
Right.
And he said, "No problem," and brought them right over.
Yeah.
Right. Same thing with Garrett. Hey man, can you be like if I knew I couldn't get away? Hey,
Right.
can you grab me a couple? Sure, no problem.
Nice.
That was fucking fantastic.
Yeah,
I appreciate
we're good
that.
guys, man.
Yeah.
Made it a lot easier for you.
Very grateful for the friends that I've
Yeah.
obtained in this industry.
So what was the best thing you smoked there? I know that you said there's several you haven't smoked yet. Take yours and Roma's out of the.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, no, it's not.
First
Because
of
everybody
all-
knows you're going to pick one of those.
Okay, well, the best thing I smoked there was the Postania, Connecticut.
Of course, yes,
Right.
obviously, yes.
Right.
Because you outwork
Obviously.
everybody.
And then
That's right.
and then the Volstead after that.
And then that
Well,
Volstead,
the box price,
well,
very good. And the
I mean-
John Gennaro.
I think the Quinquagenero is better than the Volstead.
Oh,
Yeah, but that's gonna be a limited though, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
There's only so many of those.
That's gonna suck.
First cigar he's done out of his house or away from his
What
home.
did I smoke that I was, I didn't smoke too much other than that. I would say that Don Doroteo Cameroon was fucking money.
Yeah, their cigars are good.
Yeah, that thing was really
And you
good.
said that one's only 16.
I think so, something like that.
So I mean, remember the other one was really good too, but the
Right.
hard part was that it was so expensive.
Right.
So now bringing it back down into the right bracket, that might help out a lot.
the Red Meat Lovers was really good. I smoked that.
Oh,
Is it a new one or is it the same one they've always had?
Well, it was original smoking, yada, yada. And,
Right.
And now they got 4 different Vitolas.
Oh, so now it's a production thing?
Yeah, now it's a thing.
So- Saka's making them?
Yeah.
I like that black one too.
I think the biggest one that Saka's going to have is going to be that Papa Saka.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's going to be the most sought after as
Oh.
far as out of his group.
Is that an LE or is that regular production?
I don't know.
They didn't say.
I just bought some.
Oh.
And then what about the? You said something about the Matapo.
Yeah, the Matapa was great, but we smoked that already. I smoked it here. I didn't smoke it at the show.
I think we only got one of those. I think you smoked it.
I don't know if we got another one. The Charter Oaks.
Is that the Charter Oak one?
No, the Charter Oaks are really good too. But again, I didn't smoke those at the show. I smoked them here.
Right.
So
Isn't there another new one that he's coming out with too? Night Rider.
Night Rider.
No, it was like Night
That's
something.
like Knights of Columbus or some shit.
He's
It's
a
like
knight
super-
now. He's been knighted.
Yeah.
By the Ethiopian something or
Yeah.
Nick?
other. Yeah. He's a knight.
That's
I
why
didn't-
it's called that.
Sir Nick
I
Malilo
would have
of
been calling him Sir
of
Nick
the-
the whole time I was there.
Yeah, of
His-
the Ethiopian something.
His foot was all fucked up and shit.
His foot?
Yeah.
Oh. What was that?
Mikey had to carry him.
Did you carry him?
No.
Oh. I didn't know you might have. You're that
I was
guy.
trying to get him to
You're
do
that
it.
guy. You would carry him.
I was like, hey, he'll carry you. Hey, I kept telling him. He's like,
Right.
no, I'm good.
I just want to make sure that everybody I go
A
with
little
has.
electric cart.
What's important to me is that everybody we bring has a good time. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So, I wanted to make sure that Jerry and Gio enjoyed themselves, that they got to see and do all the things that they wanted to see and do.
Right.
And I mean, that was really my priority. Obviously, opening up accounts and talking with customers and retailers is important too. So,
Pick up any new brands for the shop?
no
No.
new brands
I saw Wildfire. They won an award for best small booth or something.
because they had that camping thing.
They had an RV, I guess, there or something.
Jeremy's cool. The hard part with this is what I love. When a retailer sits down with you and they don't want to buy your shit, they usually say to you, "Hey, my humidor's full." Yeah, no
Right.
shit, buddy. Everybody's
humidor's full, right.
Right. So you either A, like my product and you make room,
Right.
or just tell me you're not interested. Hey, these are the guys.
I like your chairs.
So I say all of that simply because when it comes to picking up a new guy, what you're pretty much saying is, "Hey, I'm picking you as a horse, and I'm going to
Right.
I'm going to establish.
I think this
you."
is going to work.
Right. If somebody would come to me and say, "Hey, Posana doesn't sell on my humidor," I would say, "Well, do you bring it to consumers? Do you show
Right.
your customers? The guy who's got 3 cigars in his hand and they're all Habano, do you say, 'Hey, you should probably try this too. You'll
I
love
got something
this.'"
else you might like.
Right, because this is really good too. Or do you just set it on the shelf and think it's going to sell? Right.
Yeah.
There are a handful of companies that will just sell that way. But it doesn't make you a better retailer if you just leave it.
Right. No,
you
no.
want to educate your consumers.
I love the guy that comes in and says, "Help me pick something out."
Right. Well, you know what? But the majority of the time, even with your retailers, when you walk in and say, "Hey, would you need some help?" The answer is going to be no.
Right.
Right. So then you still have to kind of go back and say, "Hey,
Chit-chat a
let's
little
see."
bit
Yeah. So what do you grab? And what do you normally
Right.
smoke? You got to open up that. You got to break that ice.
Right.
Not just say, "Okay."
Yeah.
and
All
walk.
right. See you later.
All right. Good. You're
I'll
good.
be over here by the register.
Yeah, I'll just wait to ring you up, sir. Because a guy doesn't want to inconvenience you. They get nervous.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know.
I just start piddling, straightening stuff. Do-do-do-do-do-do. So what do you got? What
but
do you got over there?
but you don't want to hover. But once they
No,
acquire a
no.
couple,
If they're on one side, I go to the other.
or you just say, "Hey, what do you normally smoke?"
Right.
That's usually my next step. Do you need help? No. Okay, what do you smoke?
Right.
This is what I like. Oh, that's good. This one's good. Here I can make some recommendations if you want to try some other stuff.
Right.
I don't know. But as my boy Skip says, what the fuck do I know? Right? What's your question?
What were you gonna
Didn't
say?
you smoke the V1 from Crown Heads?
The V1. No, I didn't.
No. They have some new V1.
He's
Yeah.
great on the names. He's great on the names.
It's like,
You know,
you said it was a
Lava
Cuban
Lord,
one, but it's not.
It's like a mix.
The new
between-
Espinosa de los Calaveras.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The new Espinosa Los Calaveras. I'm like, what the fuck are you
That's
talking
Crown
about?
Heads.
There was, so the difference that I saw from this year to last year is the new cigars truthfully weren't like out there, like in your face.
Right.
Right, like they were the year before. They were like, "Oh, try the new cigar, try the new cigar, try the new cigar." Like this year was a little different. Like they weren't telling you like, "Hey, try our new cigar." It was, "Hey, buy all of our cigars, and then you'll get the new cigar."
Right.
Well, I think that here's what happens as a brand as you kind of get going. You're excited. You think that, page 2 on your business plan is fucking
sell
champagne,
as much as possible.
champagne and caviar, and like life is good, right?
Right.
So you spend all this money, you give all these cigars out, and you realize that your rate of return doesn't go that well.
Right.
All of a sudden, you kind of maybe I should hold back a little bit, right? The good news is this time around, I didn't really see a ton of influencers as you normally see.
Oh, really?
No, there wasn't.
I think that some of the guys and gals that have grown up a little bit as far as the influencers have found their way with a company,
Right.
and they're now theirs.
Yeah, they're
right?
hiring
Yeah,
them now,
yeah, they
yeah.
work specifically for somebody.
Yeah, and they promote within that company, which
Right.
makes sense.
I don't see many of them on social media anymore either.
Yeah, because the reality is that it doesn't fucking pay well.
Right. Right. You're
Right.
lucky if you can get free cigars.
Yeah, you better be passionate about what the fuck you're doing.
Right.
Right.
I heard Melanie was there again this year.
She was in the Fuente booth, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, they hired her.
Eric Bay did something funny on that one. I'll tell you about that on the Patreon
Yeah.
when he did his.
Somebody told me.
Yeah, it's out there.
You know, out of all the booths though, I think my favorite booth was the Don Doroteo.
Oh yeah, did they have
Yeah.
a different one from the TPE?
Yeah, so
I saw the group. I don't even know. I saw the group shot today. It looked different.
It was slightly similar.
yeah, it was similar, but they had this whole setup for the Salt of the Earth,
Right.
where they had like some tobacco plants like kind of growing.
Oh, I saw that.
bit,
Yeah, yeah.
And all this mist coming out, and there was like little flames and stuff. It was, It was a
flames.
pretty cool production looking kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then they had where they would chop the tobacco, whatever that thing is, it looked like a root. It was all tobacco in it. They would chop that, let you smoke that, and then they also had this type of rum that you could drink as well with the
pipe thing.
with the pipe thing or with the cigar.
Right.
So it was like something made with like honey. It was something that's made back in their family.
Yeah.
Did they have the Dorito commercial up again?
No.
Oh, that's good.
Like, hey, do you want? Have you tried this yada yada? I'm like, no. And then I see him pull out a bottle. I'm like, oh no, I'm good.
Yeah.
I already say enough as is without
Right.
drinking. That's all I fucking need.
Hey, get him drunk. He will buy more
Yeah.
cigars.
I got a good Pete Hernandez story
Oh,
that will also be on the Patreon.
Patreon.
There's gonna be a lot of good stuff on the Patreon.
Oh, I would imagine.
There's
so.
definitely some great shit that we can talk about on the Patreon.
Are you gonna talk about the whole Espinosa thing on the Patreon?
I don't know what you're talking about, but I can if you want me to.
Oh, okay. Well, Mickey Pay do after the.
Oh, yeah. We can talk about that. Sure. Sure. I'm glad you're here.
Right.
You know what's even funnier too, though, is like at 11 o'clock, I'm out. I'm going to bed. If I'm at
Oh, really? You didn't stay up late?
No, he didn't.
Oh,
No, I kept it on point. You know, the reality is that, I mean, I love hanging out and bullshitting and stuff,
Right.
but I got shit to do. I want to be, I got to hit the gym in the morning
Right.
on specific days, and I want to be at the showroom floor at an appropriate time and not feel like shit. Right? Because things are a lot easier if you do that.
oh, I'm sure.
If you're rough around the edges and you fucking
Come drag your ass
yeah,
in,
man,
right.
it's no good. It's no good. So, yeah,
The last night, I think you stayed up till 12.
yeah. The night that we didn't have to go in.
Well, you didn't have to
Yeah,
get
it's
up the next morning.
Yeah,
Yep.
and I got to sit down and bullshit with Skip, and I got to catch up with Charlie a little bit, which I always enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then who else was there? You know who was really cool that we had a good time with the majority of the time was Nick from Cigar Den.
Oh, yeah?
He hung out a lot. Yeah, super nice guy, man.
Yep.
What else you got? Questions? comments?
Is anything from the media night not Patreon? Espinosa media night?
Oh, we got to
When
hang out with a couple guys.
When I
from
saw that, I
Canada.
told Adrian, go, this is what I miss. This thing right here.
Yeah.
Walking around the floor and everything, that's different, but that kind of stuff, though.
Yeah, because it's an extremely intellectual conversation when you hang out with all those guys.
Right.
yeah.
Right.
It looked like
And-
everybody was taking turns telling a story or talking or something.
Oh yeah, that went down. You know what's funny though is some of those stories I've already heard like 7 times.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
I
number stories.
could almost do them verbatim. I could probably do the Skip Ashtray story verbatim
Oh,
at this
yeah,
point,
yeah.
you know. But I don't mind hearing it.
Did Espinosa hang on boots again like he did last year?
No,
When
he was too
talking?
far away.
Oh, are you talking about the? That was a media night.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
when
they
everybody
only-
hung out outside with
Yeah.
That was
Espinosa.
almost like we all used to work at Drew Estate Night, and now we're all here.
No, it was supposed to solely be like media guys and
right.
like
Oh.
really close friends.
Oh, that's what I was,
Hector thanked everybody for coming. He mentioned our podcast. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
it
was cool.
That was actually pretty. I think that was probably the best part of the whole thing.
He did call down to earth, which is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But dude, Jerry and Gio
Yeah.
are by far one of the
Hilarious.
funniest freaking
Are they?
guys.
Hilarious, man. We had a great time with them. They told us about this crackhead that they see all the time. His name's Crackhead Phil. And apparently this guy, him and his girlfriend, this is how he got addicted to crack. And I'm not gonna do this story any justice, so I'll just fucking run through it real quick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Apparently they both wound up blowing Mickey Rourke in Las
wow.
Vegas or some shit, allegedly.
Allegedly, right.
Of course.
And that's how they turned to crack.
And then all of a sudden he's a crackhead. I don't know how A went to B, but
Oh, well, have you seen Mickey Rourke lately at plastic surgery? It's a little rough.
So the dude's a mess, and apparently they're like, oh, we'll get him to do a blip for Cigar Hustlers Podcast. They'll give him like $5 or something.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. I'm like, absolutely.
Absolutely, please.
Absolutely.
Right.
I'll give you a little piece of the media night
Okay.
with Jerry. So I'm sitting there, and Eric Espinosa.
Oh, Jerry and Gio were, obviously they were there, but
Yeah.
they weren't in any of the photos.
Yeah, that was their last night there.
So Eric's like talking like maybe 5 feet away from me.
Right.
And Jerry's sitting right next to me, and Gio. And Jerry's been on like this kick of like, hey, you want to smoke crack? Like the whole time, right? I'm like, dude, stop. Not when Eric's talking. And he's like, well, maybe he wants to smoke crack. I'm like, dude, please, just, I don't want him to hear you.
Jerry and Gio are fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really are. And they're really good guys. You know?
Yeah. Oh, they're awesome, bro.
And it's funny because I think Skip, somebody was giving me a hard time. It's like, what do you just pick up scragglers along the way? I'm like, yeah, I get.
Yeah.
You know what happens
Security
is
team.
when you travel around and you meet somebody that you like, you just
Right.
become friends. I don't,
Right.
you know, it's when we went to Buffalo, they were good dudes. I hung out with them the majority of the time. You know, they were doing the podcast. I'm like, yeah, of course I'll go on. And we,
Right.
you know, we had a good time talking, and then we just kind of developed a friendship. You know, so. That happens more often than not, you
Right,
know?
yeah.
What's even funnier, though, is they always say, hey, so, you know, if anybody ever asks me where to buy cigars, I never recommend Cigar Hustler. I'm like, because I never want a retailer to think that now that we're friends, they're going to buy from me. I'm
Right.
like, no. You're not going to, no. You're
Right.
going to
Buy
fucking.
where you buy.
If that's where they, you know, I won't have it. If it's my shit, I won't have it. They'll have it first.
Right.
You know? So go and support your retailers, man. Don't be stupid.
Yeah, it was funny. Like every time I took Jerry and Gio around to each person, like I took them over to Justin, you know, everybody. Every time we go to somebody, they're like, "You guys smoking cigars or just working out?" I was like, "Oh, this is Postania security. This is all the security for Postania."
Yeah. And it's nice to walk around with a little bit of an entourage, not going to lie. Feels good.
Oh, you
Yeah.
usually leave Buzz and Woody far behind.
You know, I had a squad, you know.
It was only, like if Mikey walked in the back of us, I told him, I was like, "Dude, this looked like one of those UFC entrances." we all got the little tags and stuff.
Right.
Like,
Gio looked bigger than you.
He's definitely gained some size.
Is he?
yeah,
Yeah, his delta need work, though, right?
yeah.
He got so mad.
Yeah, he's got
So,
no
like,
delta.
I'm looking at him, I said, hey, listen, you got to focus more on your deltoids. Gives you a little more structure. Like, I was being honest.
Right.
I wasn't trying
Just trying to
be.
just critiquing him.
Yeah, just trying to give
help him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Jerry took that and fucking
Yeah.
ran with it.
Oh,
Oh,
did
what's
he?
up, small delts? I mean, just continued to hammer this poor. I'm like, Gio, I am so sorry, dude. I was
Sorry.
not.
I didn't mean to mention it in
That was
public.
not, you know.
Oh, and every time
What I was
we
trying
met
to
somebody
do.
like Eric Espinoza or Nick Mello, he's like he's like, yeah, this guy's over here on roids, like he's talking about Gio.
Yeah, he's calling him Tren and fucking D-ball and all types of shit.
nice.
And it's fucking, he's just, you know.
Crap, I had a question. I lost it.
So I made sure that I gave it back to Jerry every once in a while.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and then Gio would look at me like, "What? Why are you doing that?" I'm like, "Listen, he tees off on you all the fucking time. Don't worry, I'll even it up a little bit."
Right.
You know. Gio is like the boots of the
Is he?
trio.
Oh, it's not Caleb?
Maybe when they're all together.
Okay.
Maybe because Jerry was bored that Caleb wasn't there, so he just went to town.
just went out.
Jerry and Gio are partners on the on
Yeah,
the squad.
you're right. Yeah, they'll call
So-
me on duty sometimes.
Yeah, so they're together the most.
Right.
So. But they're awesome, man.
Well, who's Jerry?
Jerry says he's me.
Jerry says,
No way.
That's what he said. Gio is you.
I mean,
Jerry's
from a
me.
physical standpoint, Gio is definitely more me,
Right.
right? But I would say Jerry is probably more me as far as,
His
on-
position?
yeah, just on the show and yeah, where he's at. I would say Gio is more you,
Oh.
Yeah, 'cause
and Caleb is more Boots.
Jerry is super, super outspoken. Like,
Yeah, he doesn't shut the
dude,
fuck
there
up.
is no filter with him.
Yeah, kind of like me.
Well, he's a cop, so I mean, talks to weirdos all day
all the
long.
time.
Right.
I didn't expect some of the stuff he was saying when we would like go to different booths.
Right.
Like, I'm not gonna talk about this. I'll talk about it on the Patreon, but I'll give you a little bit.
All right.
We went over to Nova. Dude,
Right. Yeah. The lady.
Jerry is on a different level.
Look, there are just some things that we're not going to say to thousands and thousands of
Yeah.
people. I'd rather intimately tell it to the 15 to 20
Yep.
that I know
Right.
aren't going to go to town with it, you know? And that's why we're holding some of the stuff back. So,
Yeah.
What time are we on?
38.
You can ramp it up.
okay, well,
Oh, just a couple things.
you
The
wanna-
the news that came out of the PCA, we talked about a little bit last week, part of it, but they're going to New Orleans next year.
yeah, we fucking called that 6 months ago
Right.
on this show.
But wasn't there something wrong when they had it there before? Did you and Greg didn't like it or something?
Well, the one bad part about it is that everybody's kind of separated and shit,
right.
you know?
Because you can only smoke at the convention and in cigar.
Well, they're lifting that for the whole thing.
Oh, for the city?
Yeah.
So you can smoke outside
If
and
you
everything?
look, if you notice, Half Wheel covered that legislation was lifted on specific times for cigars
But
in New Orleans.
I thought that was just inside the cigar shops.
I don't think so. I think that it's lifted all the way around. Like no one's going to give you a hard time.
Oh, wow.
And then somebody said to me, "Oh, yeah, but New Orleans can be dangerous." I'm like, everywhere could be dangerous.
Everywhere could be
I'm like,
dangerous.
Don't be drunk and stupid and turn into a dark alley.
Right.
You know. Meanwhile, next day, hostage situation at Caesar's fucking palace. Someone
Right.
gets grabbed. He blows out the fucking window and he's launching shit out the window.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So,
That didn't even make the news here.
oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It was a
So I'm like, yeah. So good luck with that. You know what I
Right.
mean? Look, if you're stupid, you can find yourself in a bad situation
Anywhere.
Yeah.
Right.
So don't find yourself in a bad situation. I believe me, as far as the PCA is concerned, I would like to get the fuck out of Vegas.
Oh, right. Yeah.
They've also flirted with Nashville. They're also flirting with Tampa. I would love Tampa.
Tampa would be great.
You know.
Yeah, that would be good. Why not? Because that's a cigar town, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They tried it in Orlando once, but Orlando's so not smoke friendly,
Right.
and there aren't that many locations where you can go and
Right.
Tampa or Miami would be perfect.
Except what's his name?
yeah,
Yeah.
fuck that guy.
And they're cutting out the half day at the end.
They are cutting out the
That
half
came
day.
out today.
Yeah, which makes sense.
That makes sense. Nobody goes the last day anyway.
Well, the hard part
That kinda
though
sucks.
is your booth breakdown. That's the only thing that's going to be an issue, because you got to wait for the crates, you got to wait for all this bullshit, and then you got
Right.
unless you pay the union workers to do it. But the problem is, especially when it comes to the Roma stuff, all of that stuff is extremely delicate, and you don't want to see it just jammed into a spot,
Right.
And not put back properly.
But it's probably going to change though if it goes in New Orleans or somewhere else, right? Because the union workers are different there. Or
No, it's the same
Well,
shit.
couldn't I don't
Same
know?
shit, different
somebody
state.
talked about, couldn't they? So it closes on the third day, and then the morning of the fourth, instead of being a half day, they start bringing out all the crates that morning or the night before.
Yeah, they could do that. You could
So
do
when you
breakdown
come,
the
yeah,
next
you
day.
come in on the fourth day, and all your crates are sitting there waiting on you.
right, that would be perfect.
That would be the best idea.
Yeah.
If you guys want to use that, feel free.
Write that down.
I tried to get Caleb to be Scott Pierce, but he said he's not fast on his feet. He couldn't think. He couldn't do that well.
That would make it funnier.
He's not that fast.
He goes, I'm not that fast on my feet. I don't think I can do it. It would have been funnier. You're right. He had no
Yeah.
idea what the answer to the question would have been.
You want to talk about the ride home?
Sure. What happened on the ride home?
Oh, nothing.
You guys had no delays on the way out and no delays on the way back.
Oh yeah, everybody was bitching about that shit, and we were perfect.
Because you had the
Yeah.
early morning flight. After that, the airport locked down for a little while here.
It was at Crown Heads. Everybody from Crown Heads had a delay.
Oh, bro.
Ben Lee this morning was 22 hours at the airport.
Oh,
I'm
damn.
so glad we didn't have
He was.
that happen.
He goes, nobody else is here. The curse is real. The last guy out doesn't get out.
Oh, God.
Well, Carney, he made his flight a little early, and then he got stuck in Atlanta.
On the way back?
Yeah.
Who the fuck made his travel plans on the way out? He stopped like 9 times when he was flying.
Did he?
He kept checking in different airports all over the country.
Torn in the world.
I asked him, like, who the hell does your flight arrangements?
I'm going to tell you a little life hack, and I said this to my brother as we got out. Because Delta has like a 2-leg. They all have 2 legs.
Right.
Whether it's United, Delta.
Right, you gotta change planes
Unless
somewhere.
you want to suck it up and jump on a Frontier plane, which I'm not fucking doing.
Right?
Because I will be brutally in pain. Delta there's one of 2 ways you can get back to Florida. One is you fly all the way to Atlanta, then Atlanta, Orlando, or you do Salt Lake, Utah to Orlando.
He's actually going further away.
I am a fan of the Utah to Orlando.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice.
Because here's what happens. There's no fucking crazy weather.
Oh, that's right.
There's no absurdness. And if you got stuck in Utah, it's a beautiful fucking airport.
Right?
It's not, everything
nice.
is clean.
Yeah.
It's not like the cesspool when you land in Vegas. You
Right.
know.
Yeah.
Did we stop there in TPE? Is that where we went? Salt Lake? I went there one time with you.
Well,
PCA last year.
Oh, PCA last.
did we go through Salt Lake
wait.
last year?
Yeah, I think we did.
Did we?
It was one of them, either PCA or TPE.
We have definitely landed in Utah, but yeah, it was PCA last year because Adrian was with us. Because you guys,
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
you
yeah.
guys stopped off and you ate food at like the Bojangles or some shit restaurant or something.
Yeah, because I have a magnet.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so the ride home. One of the bad things that happened.
Yeah.
Me and fucking Mikey got stuck next to each other
Oh my god!
going to Salt Lake.
Oh, right.
It
Somebody's
was
in
like
the
an
center?
hour and 30 minutes.
Yeah, the seats were tough to get on the way back. So the only ones that were available were Comfort Plus, and they didn't charge us for them, which was nice. But we were emergency exit, and I took the window. No one was in front of me. I'm like, this will be fine. I'll just
Right.
deal with it. And Boots was in the middle.
Yeah.
And there was a flight attendant on the aisle seat.
It was right where you walk in, the door.
And
that
she
you
was
walk
a
in.
pro.
Right.
She was a pro because Boots says, hey, well, sorry if I kind of encroach on you a little bit. And she's like, don't, you stay, keep your arm on that side. Like she was, and
She's not having
she's
any of
this
that.
tall,
Yeah. Right.
She had
like,
plenty of room.
seasoned veteran.
Right.
But then Boots instantly kind of cowered back. He's like, okay, well, so I fucking died over here. I'm like, holy
Should ask her to
shit.
trade with you or
It
something.
was not Comfort Plus.
Where
No,
was
she
it?
wasn't fucking moving.
Where was Greg?
Greg
the
was at
window
another
on the
window
other side.
somewhere
Another
else.
window.
Yeah.
So. Well, at least could have split you two up, though.
Yeah.
Did.
It's Ronnie.
So we ended up. Oh,
Hey, I'm podcasting right now. All right, bye.
Yeah, I'm going to have to cancel the event up here. We're really busy. I bought a lot of stuff. Was he there? Did he show
did
up?
he check in? Are we doing the lake?
What?
Or are we doing the release there?
That's what
I need to iron that out.
He just called to cancel.
I need to iron that out with him. Like,
Was he at the show?
Yeah.
Was he?
Yeah.
We didn't give him a ride this time.
Obviously, right. You don't want to hear about that.
Brett Fry had a gummy, got all fucking deep on me, started asking me some serious questions. I'm like, oh my God. And he fucking affected me. I'm like,
Did he bring the yellow shirts? The yellow pea?
I did.
Oh, I thought maybe he brought them.
No, I gave him everybody in the booth got the gold peas.
Right, I saw Ray had
then
one, but I
gave-
saw he had one.
I
So I
gave-
thought like last year he brought all the Hustler.
No, I made sure that
Network.
we got him one extra one.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Brett Fry is a great guy, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in a lot of people's pictures too.
He really is
The
a
second
great guy.
most photographed guy at the PCA.
Right.
I am a little angry though
Why are you angry?
about the little post thing.
Oh, that's great. We need to cover that.
What?
So I sent an order to Brett Fry, and I just drew him a big picture
Oh, yeah,
of a
yeah,
dick.
the dick. Right.
Yeah, and he said, "Well, someone Palmer and Mike asked me what
What is Boots?
what Boots eats
Right.
or what Phil eats,
Right.
And they sent me this on this paper. So he,
Oh, you just sent it. That wasn't part of the joke.
yeah.
Oh.
So he thought that he
See,
actually
that's
asked
what I
that
thought.
question. Why would he ask that question, and why would?
Oh, maybe he's going to send him a gift or something.
No, I just drew him
He
a
sent him
dick.
stuff before.
So he's he's been upset about this for weeks.
Oh, my Lord.
For weeks, and I'm like, dude, you think I would fucking do that?
So then Mitch
Uh,
Smith.
So
I thought you had two. I thought he sent
No.
like what does Boots like to eat? Like he wants to send him something else again because we shit on him all the time. Like nobody sends him anything. I'm going to send him his favorite Twinkies or Ho-Hos or whatever it is he likes to eat.
Well,
You sent a picture of a dick.
I will tell you, Brett Fry did. He gave me a bundle of BDPs
Oh.
and wanted me to hand all those out at the show,
Oh, that was
which I
nice.
did.
Thank you, Mr. Fry.
Gave me a
I
bundle
saw the video.
of Hushachas.
Oh. By the way, you have a cigar for me from Be So Horny? He
I
put
do.
up a video.
I don't know why he posted that. See, he becomes a brand owner, and now he's like,
Now he-
ooh,
no,
pinky up and
Make
everything.
sure you give this.
I kept telling him, I was like, dude, I'm out here supporting you, telling everybody to interview. You're a great brand owner. You sold out quick.
Right.
Interview him. And then he's like, at one point, he's like, hey, I'm talking here. Can you back up? I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my God.
dude, he got so upset. Boots was so upset. So when I saw him with Tyler later, I said, hey, just want you to know, you pissed him off by doing that. He's like, oh, I didn't mean to. So he's been upset for weeks about this whole dick thing that I
Aw.
sent to Brett, and I didn't do it intentionally.
Right.
So he sends to Mitch Smith this letter saying, make sure you say that Mike something about
So I
you
saw
know,
something.
eat dicks or something,
Right.
and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Well, I've been upset about this.
Oh, it was in his prize pack.
I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I'm like, you didn't even give me like, nah, he wouldn't do that.
You didn't even ask.
You didn't even fucking bring it up to
I
me.
thought you did. I thought it was funny.
Why would I do that?
See?
Because it was funny.
See, he thought it too.
It was
You
funny.
would do that.
I wouldn't draw a penis, but I would have said something else.
No,
This
see,
is what, yeah.
Yeah.
I would, have I ever done a fucking prank to you?
You know, when you said it like that,
Yeah,
I thought about it. I was like, no.
exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Now that you're explaining it, you're right.
It's like, the
No,
fuck?
yeah,
But at the time,
At
I
the
couldn't
time.
figure out if it was Palmer
No,
or Mikey.
I was,
No, I didn't know anything about it until he saw the photo.
I was simply sending Brett a penis.
I heard him say something one
That
day
was it.
about I'm drawing a penis, Greg, don't bother me or something like that.
Yeah.
I figured.
So then I texted Brett.
sent a penis.
After me and Mike are having this conversation, I was
Right.
like, you tricked me.
He's like, you motherfucker.
For weeks I've not slept.
I told him, I was like, I'm in so much trouble now. This
I
is
see
not
penises
fair.
in my sleep now. I've been so upset.
Like, you owe me.
It's hard keeping the children in line when you're at PCA.
Dude.
You know, this guy leaves his phone on the fucking plane. He lost his Chaz fucking, well, I don't even know the guy's name.
Chaz Palminteri?
Yeah, he left his poster in the bathroom.
Yeah.
You know, the guy is just a mess.
I almost had it back. It's in Salt Lake.
You know what Tia goes through now.
I mean, holy shit, it's a full-time gig.
Right.
Well, there's a lot going on the plane, bro.
What's
You're
cool?
sitting for 4 hours.
What's cool is Jerry. Well, that was where we met Judah. So we sit down at this fucking in the terminal or whatever, and I look back and I'm like, I don't know enough. I'm like, damn, he's a basketball player. I've seen him.
Oh, in Salt Lake.
Yeah, and I'm like,
No, in Vegas.
Yeah, we were in Vegas.
Oh.
I'm like, I've fucking seen him. So I mean, we watched a lot of the playoffs. I'm like, he's either a Laker or he's a Magic guy. I think he's a Magic guy. So I go to look it up,
Right.
and of course, the fucking internet's not working.
Right. Yeah.
So I can't look it up.
I'm sleeping.
But Boots
I guess he's sitting directly behind me.
Yeah. So Boots was sitting across where he could stare at him, and then he switched seats so he could sit behind,
right,
and he could sprawl out a little bit. So I'm like, man, I'm pretty sure that's a Magic guy. So then we get on the plane, and I'm like, did you see the basketball player? And he's like, no, who? And I was like,
well, because I said that one guy, I said, I know who that guy is.
Yeah.
He works for the Magic. Mm-hmm. And there was, because he had like I call him the handler, but
right,
the
carrying
relations guy.
He was wearing all white and he got pizza. I was like, be careful, bro. I mean, white pants.
Yeah.
You're quite the gamble there, my friend.
Right.
So he's like, yeah, the dude you were talking to, I think he's a handler for Magic or something. I said, oh, well, I think that there was a Magic player there. I'm like, he's the guy with the mohawk? He's like, who? He starts going nuts. So I'm like, don't worry, he's going to be on this plane. So he comes out. I said who it was, and he goes, oh, what's his name?
Jonathan Isaac.
He goes, oh, that's Jonathan Isaac. I said, oh, yeah. And I look him up. I'm like, yeah, that's him, because I connect to the plane at that point. That's totally him. He goes, oh, he was a Seminole, blah, blah, blah. Like, he starts rolling all these things. So he walks in, and he's giddy as a schoolgirl, and he's not saying shit. I go, go Knowles. Uh-oh. And he's like, yeah. And I said, Magic 2.
I said something, but it was so faint. I was like, Judah.
Oh, I love you. So,
well, another one walked in too before him though.
Yeah, he goes, oh shit, that was
Wendell Carter.
Wendell Carter. I don't
He's
know.
just a name lawyer. Yeah. That was Wendell Carter.
So we see him in Utah, and I text him like, hey, the ball player is right by us, and then I turn back and Boots is 50 feet away from us, and he's giving me the look like I see him. I see him.
There he is.
So this poor fucking.
Look at him.
So Boots is talking to his poor wife on the phone, and he gets close to him. He's like, I gotta go. Hangs up the phone, and asks for a picture.
Well, I'm like, well, here, I'll detail it a little bit better. I'm like FaceTiming her.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, it's going good. And then here comes Jonathan Isaac. I was like, hey, can I get a picture? Like real low, because I didn't want to alert everybody.
Right. Holy shit, yeah.
Yeah. So then he's like, yeah, sure. He comes over. He's like standing next to me. He's like, hey, I gotta go, babe. Bye. Click. He goes, did you just hang up on your wife? I was like, yeah, dude. Sorry. I need to get a picture with you.
Such a fan.
It'll be fine. She'll understand.
It's crazy, man.
I have your picture next to my bed. So I was Greg. We didn't talk about Greg. How was Greg, I think? Did he show up on time? Because the other king said that he was late all the time.
Well, the difference is that I don't care, because
right.
he can't affect my plans if we're staying on base.
Right.
So I could tell you that there were a bunch of times where he was calling me and I was in the middle of something, I just didn't answer. I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna.
Was he calling you from the other side of the booth?
Just where if he was somewhere else, kind of, even if he was, I mean, I could do it. I'm not fucking name a call.
Well, I mean, you saw us singing
singing on the plane. Yes, that was nice.
Yeah. You know what was great? I'm gonna tell you, it wasn't day one, but day two, Matul had figured it out. He's like, oh, okay, I need to sell too. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah. So
part of the team.
He started kind of working it a little bit.
Right.
He was kind of back into a groove. Like, it took a while for him to get to it. I'm like, yeah, that's exactly the case. He did write one order that's complete wood. There's no CC info. It's just a fucking business card to follow up with. I'm like, okay, that'll work out great. Right. I got to call. I don't even have a cell phone number. Hey, so you placed this order
at the name of the store.
He's gonna be like, who? Fuck you.
I'm gonna tell you, that was my first time ever meeting Matul.
Yeah.
Even talking, like, I've never heard him on the phone, anything. Right. He's a great guy, man.
He's a very nice guy. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, man.
I like him.
We've built a team along the way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Between Jeff, Matul, Kind of Sean. I mean, Sean's just along.
I think does Sean check out at dinner any night? Like, I gotta go to the bathroom and he never comes back.
He disappears from time to time. It's fun to have him around, but he's, it's not like he's not, but I can sit down, I can talk with Jeff and say, all right, here's where we fucked up. Here's where we can do better. I can look at Matul and say, okay, here's where we fucked up. Here's what we can do better.
Right.
And, and I'm not just saying this is where you fucked up.
Right.
I'm saying
this is where we fucked up.
Right. Here's how we need to do things better.
Right.
And holding myself as equally accountable as everybody else in the party, The only one I struggle with is Greg. He's just oblivious to the whole fucking life. I'm just like, still can't get him to park out back after all these years. I'm like, will you park your car out back?
Touch with the cigar industry.
Like, you look like a douche parking out front. You look like a douche.
I like the booth where you've got Postania, Fosforo, Fable, and then you've got Roma on the side of us, right? I feel like that booth, to me, is just so well organized, has such a good array of people, attitudes, everything. Like, it's just an awesome booth to go to. When you go to all the other ones and you got your couple of guys that and they got good attitudes. Everybody else is just kind of like a zombie. But when you come over to the Roma, it's like everything's clean, everything's organized, everybody's chipper, everything's great. It's cool to talk to everybody.
And it's great to work just fucking hand in hand with them, just to be so fucking dialed in. Like, I could go to Michael, and we could talk about a retailer, we could talk about what's going down or whatever the case may be. If he has an issue with something and I can help sort it out, or vice versa, or if he thinks that someone might be a fit, like, you need to talk with them or whatever the case may be. And, John as well, and Lightweight Heavy too, all of those guys are such an integral part of this whole thing, this whole operation, and being on the same page with all of them just makes.
There was no pictures of John D. Oliver either.
No, I don't know what to tell you with that.
I mean, at least there were pictures of Sean.
I did, I love it when people ask me for a photo. That happens every once in a while. I'm like, hey, can I get a picture with you? I'm like, yeah, man.
Certainly you're
I just don't feel like I'm that guy.
My good side.
I'm gonna tell you, it was hard to get. I was trying to take a picture with him at one point, but he was so busy writing orders, talking to people. I mean, dude, they had an appointment like every 15 minutes.
I'm sure they did.
He's your data guy.
I was gonna say he's the guy now.
And then even when he had some downtime, it wasn't like real downtime. It was like now we're breaking down the booth and we're doing all this stuff. And you couldn't really get a moment with him. And he didn't really go out because he had his other half was there.
His wife?
Yeah, well, you got to have that.
She works for
Rocky.
Jaro. That's right.
Yeah. So you got to have reasonable expectations. Like, there's just no way that you're going to sit and follow and hang out with somebody the whole time. It's just, and sometimes you won't get to really see them at all.
Right.
Like, I had intentions of bullshitting with Booth.
Right.
That didn't happen,
I tried to bring him over at one point, but he even told me, he's like, I cannot get away from this booth. Like, I had to take him to the bathroom.
Well, that's a mistake, though. That's a fucking rookie move on your behalf.
Yeah, I shouldn't have fucking done that. That was an hour fucking deal. Like, we were going to the bathroom. It was literally like maybe 100 feet, 200 feet to the door.
Right.
And we must have talked to like 20 fucking people.
Yeah, we went to the bathroom together at the Great Smoke, and I ditched him halfway across.
Exactly.
Like, I just got to go. I don't have time to do this.
You got to realize when you're like, fuck this. This is out of, no. Come with me. No.
Yeah,
I'm not. No, I don't have that kind of.
I have to pee. I'm going.
I don't have that kind of time, bro.
People don't want to see me. I don't need to stop.
I enjoy the time I get to spend with him because it's not the Matt Booth character anymore. Like, it's, I get to talk to him about other things other than just cigars. So
right.
He's just stop it every 2 seconds and he has to click back into character.
Yeah. Once we get back to the booth area,
right.
That was, character area. But, and then Justin Andrews was there. He's always a good guy.
I love Justin.
Yeah. He's funny, man. Like,
right now, he's in the meeting.
Yep.
At this very moment.
Right.
It's an lead optimization for releases or whatever.
Something.
Organizational data.
Yeah. So. All right. Well, let's wrap this.
It's probably a full show. We did it within an hour.
Yeah, 58.
So there we go.
See, that was the other thing where you guys fucked up, is you didn't do a full hour. You couldn't hang.
Yeah.
You couldn't hold it without us.
Well, how many times could you say how many books you read?
Yeah, how many times did he make fun of you?
Hold on, I read another book. And
all the news was stuff about different cigars. So that's kind of foolish.
Yeah. You should have had like a bowl of cereal to open up. Like,
there's only so much, so much time you can do. Only so many things. He's had that muscle suit. We've had that crown for 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, I wish you would have dressed up as Greg on the show.
Yeah,
Greg doesn't do the show.
Yeah, but wasn't that funny when I went over to him? I was like, "Hey, Greg, you're on the air."
Yeah.
He clammed up. Like
He doesn't like it. He doesn't do well.
his eyes opened up wider, and he was like,
people are talking.
I'm on the show.
Right. Somebody had to be the real person to keep the show moving.
Right.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'd just been sitting here counting money.
All right, well, let's zip on to the Patreon. Let's get some of this stuff out of the way, and we'll
right.
we'll shore up everything for next week.
You got it.
All right, thanks,
guys.
everybody.
Thank you.
Don't miss it.
This is the real PCA info here.
The deets.
All right, guys. Bye. The Cigar Hustlers Podcast, its owners, and its sponsors take no responsibility for the opinions or statements made by the talk show host or their guest. Statements or show topics are not necessarily the beliefs of Mike and Mike Productions or the podcast providers, and opinions between talk show hosts may differ. It is not our intention to libel, incite, or hurt anyone's feelings. We invite you to write the show's host, Mike Stepankevich, with any feedback or suggestions that you have for their shows. These broadcasts are presented and made public as entertainment in the hope that they will be entertaining to the audience.